Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking out this video. In preparation for this summer's Appalachian 1000 endurance rally that I am going to be participating in raising awareness for the Special Operations Adventure Foundation, which assists Special Operations veterans who have exited the service and are having a tough time with reintegrating with society, right? And that's what they're there for. That's what they help with. I know, I'm the founder, but this is Upshifting Adventures, one of my other projects, and I'm going to be going out there to the West Virginia and Kentucky area in July and running this 72-hour, 1,000-mile endurance rally through the hills of West Virginia and Kentucky. To prepare for that, I'm taking my 701 and I'm pretty much going through it completely, making sure that it is up to snuff, top notch, not going to break down on me on the middle of this rally because I'm trying to win it, right? So I just got done doing the valves on it. I've got about 7,200 miles on the bike. The exhaust valves were good. The intakes needed to be reshimmed a little bit. So while I was doing that, you know, I had the bike completely torn down, cleaning everything, going through everything. And while I did that, or while I was doing that, I also removed this power commander and auto tune from the bike. Now I've had this set up on the bike for about 4,000 miles. And I'm not gonna say there was anything wrong with it, right? It worked good. I felt like I had good power gains from it. But to be completely honest, every time I was out in the middle of nowhere, up on top of 13,000 foot peaks, whatever, I was always concerned that something was gonna go wrong, a wire was gonna get cut, you know, I was gonna have to try to get that thing apart while out in the middle of nowhere by myself with, you know, minimal tools and just trying to take everything apart and then put everything back together again. And I just don't want to mess with that during this rally. So what I have done is I contacted my friend Jordan at Tune Logic USA, and he had me get this Alientech programmer, all right? And what it is it's really a pretty cool little system. You can flash your own ECU in your garage or whatever. It works off of Bluetooth through your phone. I'm gonna get into all of that here shortly. We're gonna go through the whole programming process, right? And then Jordan has written me a tune specifically for this bike with the mods that I have, everything else. And he's already tuned my 890 Adventure, and it runs like a top, man. I couldn't be happier with it. All of the known problems with the 890 Adventure, like the cold start problem, the quick shifter problem, all of that stuff has been cured. Now it has great pull from, you know, bottom of the RPM range all the way through to shift time, right? So couldn't be happier with that program. And so I totally trust him to write a program for this bike. Let's get into tuning the bike. The first thing they say to do is make sure that the battery is hooked up to a battery charger. Obviously, motorcycle batteries, we're gonna be doing a lot of turning the ignition on, turning it off. It's gonna be on for a while. So you wanna make sure that you're hooked up to a battery tender or a charger or something like that so you don't lose connectivity, okay? So I'm gonna do that right now. My email and all that other stuff. So the first phase that they're talking about is we're gonna connect to the vehicle, all right? So we're gonna connect the Powergate to the vehicle's diagnostic port using the supplied cable, which here is the diagnostic port on this particular bike. Can be a little bit of a pain to get off. We'll hook up the supplied cable, and then you're going to hook up your this alligator clip also to your battery positive terminal, okay? Once that's done, we'll connect the Alientech box to the, I think it's like a 16-pin cable or a 19-pin or something like that. All right. And let's see, connect power to the diagnostic port using the supplied cable and wait for the LED strip to turn blue. All right, and now we're going to pair the device. Connect the cable to the Powergate and plug it in into the diagnostic socket. Once connected to the vehicle, your Powergate will be powered. Follow the instructions in the app to pair it with your smartphone. We're going to enable data location, enable Bluetooth, Now, while it's doing this, I got to say it's also very important that you have a good charge on your cell phone battery as well. Okay, Powergate scan, Powergate in progress. Enable the connection. Next. All right, so now I will connect to my Wi-Fi network. Okay, so right now my ignition is off. There's no power to the bike. So we're going to start the process. It's going to read my ECU, I believe is the next step. And like I said, this does take a bit of time, and that's why you're going to want to make sure that you have your battery hooked up to a tender. Okay, change the network. I don't know why I would have to do that, but we'll see. Okay, so I think I found the problem is that my home Wi-Fi is not very good, not a strong signal here in the garage, so I had to turn that off and use my my hotspot on my phone to connect to the Powergate. So we are good to go now. All right, so now we're updating the firmware files. Basically what this program does, right, is when you plug it into your ECU, it's going to read all the ECU parameters. It's going to store that, and then my buddy Jordan at TuneLogic USA, he has access to this account as well, right? So once it's done, it's going to upload it up into the internet. He's going to receive it, and then he's going to shoot back another file for me, and then the phone is going to put that into the bike. All right, so select a vehicle. I'm not real sure. Oh, that's AJP. So we're going to select our vehicle, Husqvarna. And I've already talked to him, and he said to pick the, interesting. He said to use the KTM 690 from 2016, but I think he means the 701 Enduro from 2016. Let me check real quick. All right, so I think I figured out what the problem was. I went back and checked through my emails, and he had actually told me to make sure to pick the 2018 Enduro Protocol. It's just Protocol, you know, for whatever. They have the different years, but he said to make sure to pick the 2018. So I went back, picked 2018 on the phone here, and let's see what happens now. So that was totally my bonehead mistake there. Oh, hopefully it's going to work now. Okay. Exporting identification data, turn off the ignition. Let's see, here we go. This is where we were getting jammed up on the last go around, because I had picked the 21, which is what year this is. Okay, identification successful. You need to read the control unit. Next. Reading. Yeah, so that's what it was. I just had the wrong protocol picked for this particular tune. For proper working of the protocol, connect to save. Yep. Turn the ignition on, check the connections and press OK. Everything looks good. Then we're starting the communication. Identification completed successfully. That's good. Looks like everything's going to be pretty smooth from here on out. Proceed with the reading, yes. So just like anything else, when it's something brand new to you, and I haven't done this yet. This is your guys are watching me learn it in real time, right? So right now it's reading the ECU. The Alientech box here is got the red strip going on. And obviously you can hear the, what do you call it? The electronic portion of the bike here is running, so it's going to start draining battery, which is why it's really important that you have your battery tender hooked up. Okay, we'll wait for it to read the ECU and then see what happens next. All right, we're about 85%, 90% of the way through reading the ECU. The light on the box just turned green. Exporting the read file. So I think it's exporting the read file, which is going to go over the internet to Jordon over there at TuneLogic USA, and then he will work his magic, whatever he does, and it'll come back to me, and then I will shoot it into the ECU here. Turn ignition off. ECU reading successfully completed. Now it's exporting the log from the bike's ECU. Sending FileGate to the Powergate manager. Or sending file to the Powergate manager. Okay, so successful operation, you can now associate with the vehicle with Powergate. Having performed this association, you will no longer be able to cancel it. Do you want to proceed? Yes, I do. All right, and writing. So now it's going to write the file. Let's see, you're certain of any doubt that your vehicle's control unit has been modified before or is not the original one installed by the manufacturer. It's not. Got it. Okay, select the file you want to write to your vehicle. All right, so the app just notified me that there's a new file available, right? So I'm going to go ahead and fire it up, link it back up with the Alientech programmer again, and then I'll go and I'll choose the new file, which will go into the ECU. Getting Powergate information. All right, updating firmware, checking, blah, 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 all that stuff. It's doing all of its magic. Everything's going pretty smooth so far. Like I said, I think me not being a programmer or a techie guy, there's a learning curve here, but once you start to figure it out, it's actually all pretty good. So I'm going to hit the ECU button here. Got it. And it should show me the base file and then, or a stock file, and the new file. Writing, gonna click on that, hit next. I got it. And we'll see if that new file is in there, which it should be. Yes, okay, so we're gonna click on this guy, click next, and it's gonna do all of its thing. Importing control unit file, communication in progress. Okay, we are hooked up to a battery tender. Turn on the ignition, click OK. Starting communication, and this one's probably going to take a bit of time, right? Because it's actually writing to the ECU. Communication in progress again. Completed successfully. Proceed with the writing. Okay. Turn off the ignition. Okay. Turn on. Okay, so ECU is programming now, and it talks about the stage 1 is the Aero slip-on and the Tecmo header that I'm using, the Rottweiler intake for the Husky, moderate ignition advance. Because I'm running, and he did ask when you get a tune from him, he sends you a sheet and you tell him what mod you're running and then also what purpose, right? And what gasoline you're using. I primarily use 91. Here in Colorado, we can't find anything higher than 91. So that's all I'm running. So the moderate ignition advance is probably because, you know, I can only run 91, not 93 octane or, you know, 100 octane or whatever. And it's programming now. Going to take a few minutes, and then we'll finally fire it up and see what we got. I'm super excited about it, though. While it's doing that, let's talk a little bit about kind of the conveniences of this thing, right? So with this, anytime I want to change the program, right, or put a new tune into the ECU, let's say I feel like it's running too lean, or, you know, I'm having some problems at the bottom end or whatever, I can call up Jordon and say, hey, I'd like you to change the tune for this, that, or the other. Sends it over the internet. I pick it up on my phone, plug in the box, and you can reflash your ECU. Very handy. The other thing is, I've been told that here in the next coming months, they are also going to have data logging capability with this system too. So that's super cool. And basically, you have your own, you know, little computer you can do all your adjustments with. Yes, you do have to have your tuner adjust it. I imagine you can do it yourself if you knew how. I don't. So, but aside from that, though, I don't have all those extra wires that I had with my Power Commander and Auto Tune. That was really kind of sketchy for me. I'm not going to say it ever let me down. It never did. But I was always worried that something was going to happen. It's always a possibility, right? Something gets cut. Something goes wrong with it in general. And of course, and what I really learned when I was into diesel trucks a while back and doing a lot of tuning on those, when you do inline tuning, you're starting to create like scar tissue in your ECU. I don't know for sure if it's with the bikes or not. I do know it's with vehicles. And you start to get these like, what do they call that? Fragmented segments within the ECUs, right? Because it doesn't like spitting out something for the bike to do, and then it's being intercepted and changed on the way, right? So you don't have that problem either when you flash your ECU. All right, 25%, it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna go check some emails and I'll be right back in the blink of an eye. So the ECU has been written successfully with the new tune that I got from TuneLogic. Right now it's exporting the log, finishing up. As soon as it's done, I'm gonna shut down the program, unhook everything, put everything back together, put my air filter back on, and we'll start it up and see what it sounds like. All right, moment of truth. So I've had this bike all torn apart. I re-shimmed the cam, the valves, retuned the ECU, and let's see how she performs. Here we go. Awesome, first start. Wow, that actually started up really quick. So before I get on the gas or anything like that, I'm going to let it completely warm up, and then I'll let it cool down again. I'll start it up. We're going to take a trip, see what she feels like. I just got back from about a 30-minute, 40-minute ride out on the 701, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. I had no idea that the gains were going to be as great as they are. The first thing I noticed was you can really feel the difference, excuse me, in the acceleration, okay? When you get on the throttle, you know, generally with the 701, those first few hundred RPMs or so, kind of bog, and then bam, you know, it takes off on you. Just like the tune on my 890, the 701 now pulls clean and hard right off throttle all the way to the end of the RPM range. The shifting seems smoother. It's not a quick shifter, but I think, you know, when your motor runs better, your shifting is better as well, right? So I was taking it down the street on just a flat surface, and in second gear, sitting where I normally sit, not sitting back at all, but just sitting, you know, in the middle of the bike, cracked the throttle and had a power up wheelie in second gear. I'm 240, 250 pounds. That doesn't happen for me. It has not with this bike. I can always, you know, bounce it a little bit, get it up in the air, or, you know, of course, clutch up. But just cracking the throttle, it came up. So it is producing more power for sure. It seemed to run cooler at the stoplights. I wasn't as hot. Granted, it is, you know, 55, you know, degrees outside. It's not 80, but everything felt just so much more smooth, more direct response with the bike. The other thing is when you let off the throttle, it's a smooth transition down to those lower RPMs, right? It's not like a huge engine braking effect. Just all in all, I'm so happy with it. Can't believe just how much more smooth the bike is, how much more enjoyable it is to ride it. I am glad that I took that power commander off. It was a good piece of equipment. I can tell right now it was adding power in some areas, but this is adding power. It's adding power across the RPM range. So that, and not having that piggyback to worry about, you know, something going wrong with it while I'm out riding and having to fix it on the fly with, you know, lack of tools or what have you, right? So Jordan at Tune Logic USA, thank you so much. Fantastic job. This is my second bike now. I've got my KTM behind the camera there, 890, and then I've got the 701. Second one he's tuned. Runs like a top. This one, when I started it up this morning, fired up right away. It never fires up that fast. It always, you know, it always fired up pretty clean, but now it just fires right up. So happy with it. I really am impressed with the difference that tune made. So again, Jordan at Tune Logic USA does a fantastic job writing tunes. The Alientech Powergate, once, you know, and if you're not a tech dummy like me, probably no problem at all, but once I kind of figured it out, it was simple to use. I'm really happy with it, well worth the money. The last thing I'm going to say is I am getting this bike prepped to go out to West Virginia and Kentucky in July for the back roads of Appalachia, Appalachian 1000 Dueling Banjos, 72-hour, 1,000-mile endurance rally through the hills of Kentucky and West Virginia. They are a supporter of my foundation, the Special Operations Adventure Foundation, and they have made us the benefactor, or one of the benefactors of the event this year. But I am going out there on my own dime. Myself and a good friend of mine, we are paying our own way to get out there and run this race. I am looking for sponsors if you'd like to, or if you know someone who would like to, please contact me. I need help with things like spare parts, gear, you know, and of course, cash donations are always very welcome. So if you or someone you know is interested, please go to the website, www.soafoundation.org. Check out our mission to help Special Operations veterans. That's all for the video. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys out on the trail.